it's Jodi with Inspiring Joy. Welcome to my channel, and if you are returning, welcome back. It's great to have you all here. So in today's video, we are going to do two fall DIY projects. They have to do with pumpkins, as you might imagine. And let me walk you through the first one. So I picked up from Michael's Crafts this pumpkin. They come in black and white and orange, and I selected the black one based on this project that I want to do. And you might see why here in a little bit after I get started. So what I'm going to do is cut an opening in this faux pumpkin, and it's kind of a styrofoam material, if you will. So I think it will cut relatively easy. I'm not too worried about a symmetric circle or a symmetrical circle. I'm just looking for the ability to take off the top, and then I'm going to put a base in the center, a glass vase down inside, and then I have some flowers from an arrangement that my husband gave me. They are all fall flowers, and I'm going to put those stems, some of those stems, I don't think all of them will fit back into this glass vase, but I'm going to put those stems into the glass vase. And so my idea here is to have flowers popping out of this pumpkin. Now because the flowers are for the most part fall-ish, I have some sunflowers, some peach roses, they're autumnal colors. I didn't want to do an orange pumpkin with those autumnal flowers, if you will, or colored flowers. So I wanted something that was either was more of a contrast. And I thought about the white pumpkin, but I think the black being the darker base with those really colorful, vibrant, autumnal colors and flowers are going to be fantastic. I'm super excited to see how this turns out. So the first part here is I'm going to cut the opening, and obviously since it's a faux pumpkin, there's nothing to clean out, no pumpkin seeds, no interiors of the pumpkin to pull out, even though that's also very fun when we do jack-o'-lanterns. But this is just for, decorative vase holding options. So anyway, let me go ahead and get started here, and then I'll walk through the process as I'm doing it, and then we'll take a look at the flowers. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm going to stand for this part and show you how I'm going to cut this. You might hear our dog Bailey in the background chewing on his bone. He likes to be right where I am, which is wonderful. So, all right, so I'm first going to probably actually get a little bit of maybe a pencil and just do a little bit of an outline so I have something to work with. So let me grab that really quick. Okay, I don't want anything that's going to leave too much of a color, but just enough to give me a little bit of a design. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, this is the opening of my base. So I'm going to put this up here and do an outline to make sure it's big enough for the base to go into. I think the top opening and the bottom are relatively the same size, so I'm going to trace with the top. Okay, not perfect, totally fine. So what I did was, as you saw, or may have seen, I put the vase upside down on the pumpkin and then traced that opening. So if your bottom is larger than the top for what you want to use, I think that's about the same, then I would consider maybe going a little larger. Or if you want to measure, whatever vase you want to put in there, so you make sure you have a large enough opening to put your vase down inside, and then you should be good. So go ahead and try to cut this here. Just going to be very careful if you're using a knife. Just take your time with it. Okay, so there we have it. Now what I'm going to do is grab a little bit of a sanding block and sand these edges a little bit. And then first I'm going to put away my X-Acto knife because it's a little bit sharp. So let me grab my sanding block and we'll do that part. Okay, so I have a 3M sanding block. Not sure what the grit is. I'll leave it up to you what you want to use for that. I'm just going to fluff off some of these jagged edges in here, just so it looks a little bit nicer. Little messy, not bad. Okay, so now the opening is cut. I'm going to wipe it off, I think with a paper towel here in a moment. And you know what you can do, depending on if you have a black pumpkin, you can certainly come through with a black magic marker or something and fill in any space that, you know, maybe your X-Acto knife nicked or cut a little bit. So I'm going to try to put this in here. Perfect. Fits just fine. Sticks out just a little bit, but I think with the flowers in here, you're not really going to see that too much. Plus, I'm going to put a bow around it, so I think that'll be just perfect. Okay, so that's good. I'm going to grab, well, actually I might wait until after I do the flowers. So now I'm going to move us to the countertop in the kitchen, and we'll pick out the flowers to put in here. Okay, so we are now in the kitchen, and let me show you the bouquet of flowers that my husband gave me. They are astounding in my opinion. The colors are, it says autumn to me for sure. So I just can't speak highly enough of this bouquet. It's so gorgeous. So let me turn around my camera. I'll show you the bouquet, and then we'll go ahead and get started with breaking up the flowers. I think what I'll need to do is probably do a little net in here. So I think what I'll need to do is probably separate these out into 3 separate bouquets. I don't think they will all fit into this jar that I have for, you know, the pumpkin arrangement. But anyway, we'll get started, see how we want to use them, and we'll show you the end product when we're done. Okay, so this is the arrangement. Like I said, colossal, fabulous. It has some vine rope type of thing here. Not exactly sure what they used, but it's almost like a vine, I think. So anyway, then we have our sunflowers, green foliage, some berries, some peach roses, sunflowers again. This really neat cranberry sort of plant. I'm not sure what most of these are called, but they are just beautiful. So let me go ahead and get started on separating these out, and we'll see what we have. bundle of sunflowers. We have these, I'm not sure the name, but they're kind of a sort of a berry cherry item. And then the peach roses, which are gorgeous. And then this type of flower. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it has a lot of burgundies to it. And Bailey's trying to get up here and see everything with me. So these are the flowers. And then I have a bunch of greenery here as well. So let's go ahead and see what we can fit into the pot that's in the pumpkin. Okay, so I did take a wet paper towel and just wipe the outside after making the cut. So I just wanted to make sure all of the shavings and pieces were off. I'm going to grab my scissors. I'm going to take off all of the leaves that are on any of the roses, just so they have a little bit more nutrition there. And I want these to pop out just a little bit, so I'm going to cut about here. I think that's a good height. Just kind of eyeballing it here. Doesn't have to be exact or perfect in any way. And I think I'll put 3 in here. There we go. I'll put 1 sunflower. Our daughter Addison loves sunflowers, so I think I'm going to give her the rest of these in a vase. And then I want to add some of the berries. Maybe cut these a little bit longer and just sort of space them in here. And then I definitely want some of this burgundy in here. I'm going to cut that shorter there. Stick that in there. I think I'll put that more in the middle. Have just enough ribbon, really get down, to use on this that I had from another project. I won't have enough for tails, but it'll be enough, just enough to stick out, I think. Trim my ends a little bit. I'm going to take it out of the pumpkin for a second and add some water. Okay, so in the end I decided not to use the ribbon. I don't have enough to make a nice bow with it. So I might come back later and add a ribbon. Let me actually, before I say that, let me just see if I have. Alright, so I'm switching gears and I have this ribbon from Christmas time actually. And I love the brown satin. And let's see how this looks here. Okay, so I think we have a gorgeous arrangement. You know, one thing I didn't know is the interior of a sunflower is very sticky. It feels a little bit like sap, so just be mindful of that if you're using sunflowers. But, you know, the water's in the vase, and I'll lift these up a little bit, and you can see the vase. Turn that a little bit more. You can see the vase there inside the black pumpkin, and again, pick whatever color pumpkin or artificial gourd or whatever vessel you want to use. Find your vase and go to the grocery, get your flowers, go to a florist, get your flowers, get them from wherever. Maybe you grow them in your garden. Okay, so the counter is clearly a mess. It needs cleaned, but that's okay. So let me go ahead and show you where I put the pumpkin. All right, so here on our little table by the back door, going out to our deck, I've put it here with the orange ribbon, the black pumpkin, the orange florals, and reds, cranberries, greens, and of course sunflowers. Those speak fall to me as well. So I think this is just so cool. I'm really pleased with it and happy with how it turned out. So I hope all of you give this a try. And it turns out as well for you as I think it did for me. So because this video probably took a little bit longer than I expected, this project, I'm going to break this up and do my second DIY for fall in a separate film or separate video. So from this video, I will go ahead and close out, and I look forward to making this next video, which will be a DIY fall project. It's kind of updating a ceramic pumpkin that I picked up from Michael's Crafts and incorporating that into our outdoor fall decor. So stay tuned for that video to come soon, and I'll probably go ahead and film it today, soon after this one. So anyway, I hope y'all have a great day. It's fall, y'all, and it's early fall, but we are getting excited here in Ohio. I am, for the decorating and the leaves that are falling and the cooler nights and the warm sunshine and just all of it. Love fall. So I hope this video finds you well, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye now.